guys,
Hey.
welcome back for another episode of Mainly Irrelevant, a geek podcast where we talk about things that are mainly irrelevant. But today we're going to talk about something that's so relevant.
It's going to be irrelevant when it comes out.
I mean, that's true.
it's like 2 months later.
Like, spoiler alert. Honestly, if at this point you haven't watched it yet, you deserve to be spoiled. I'm just going to put that out
Spoiler for the whole MCU, not just
Yes,
Endgame.
exactly.
Everything from Iron Man
So
1.
from this point forward, if you haven't watched it, and yeah, you deserve to be spoiled.
Yeah.
Anyway, cool.
Endgame.
Endgame.
How did you guys like it?
I think it was a good movie. I don't think it was like super amazing. I think it was really good in the fact that it was a really good wrap up of like 10 years worth of movies. I think they wrapped it up really well, especially doing time travel stuff. It's always complicated.
Yeah.
I think they had a really good idea, even though there was still some kind of like plot holes and stuff. Like it still kind of worked out pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, yeah, I totally agree. Like, I think from an emotional kind of story perspective, they had some pretty good closures. Directing and like filming wasn't like the best, obviously, like throughout. And I think they tried to pack too much in, even if it's just even if it's still already like a 3-hour movie. But I think a lot of the storylines panned out pretty much the way that I had hoped or expected it to.
Yeah.
So that was good, like actually seeing that kind of resolution, right?
Yeah.
For me, it wasn't the best Marvel movie.
Yeah,
It was
definitely not.
a decent one. It was decent as a movie by itself. But then I think nobody could do what this movie could do.
Yeah.
Like this movie is the end of 22 movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of like it deserves a pass for a lot of the flaws in this movie,
Yeah.
and then it also because it only can bring up like the major act 3 was like crazy.
Yeah.
The battle, a lot of the the emotional plots of like the main characters like Iron Man and Cap was it was hard to do if in one movie by itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think and they pulled in everybody from almost all, like every non-villain was pretty much there or had some screen time, even Jane. Like, even Jane.
Yeah.
But I think that's like some old footage from Dark Road.
It was.
Probably they didn't.
I read that Natalie Portman did like voiceover work
I see.
for the scenes, but I think all of it was like leftover footage.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was a good season finale.
Yeah.
In that
it was
sense.
really good. Really good.
I don't think they could have done better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like film making wise, Infinity War was so much better.
Yeah.
Just as a standalone movie.
It's really tight.
Yeah,
really
that was
tight.
really good. Like it kept you like gripped throughout because you didn't know what was going to happen. I mean, I didn't expect the 5 years later kind of thing.
One thing actually surprised me was Nebula. Nebula was really good in this movie.
Yeah.
Pretty decent. Like, and the whole thing they got like another Nebula, like the pre-Volume 2 Nebula and the Infinity War Nebula when they came together, it was kind of cool. Like one still hated her sister and one was like kind of like in more in tune with what her sister thinks.
I mean, I read an article kind of dissecting Nebula's kind of character arc, and how there's like this whole morality thing where it's like she's kind of like part android. Does she even qualify as human? And then she finds that human side and comes back and helps the team. I thought, I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. But that panned out really nicely. And
I think the part where Gamora switched sides, I think that part was a bit quick.
Yeah,
like,
it was.
It was really.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I'm on your side now. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, that was
Empathy.
Like how it took her what two movies to switch sides.
Yeah.
It was like.
Yeah, it was like within an hour. It's like, all right.
And like she didn't even see like a projection of Thanos pushing her off the cliff.
Yeah,
you know?
it was just based on what Gamora, Nebula said.
Yeah. like if
I
she
think
saw
a lot
that
of things
scene.
happen off screen. Like so many things in this movie happen off screen, and I give it a pass because I'm more like, okay, when Thanos was gone, she looked at Nebula's like memory, yeah, and then she switched. That's like the only explanation because you can't go through like Volume 1, Volume 2, and then
But
what
like
else? Infinity War.
that would have been a really good movie, a good scene to see on screen, though. You know,
Yeah.
like just to see how
I think
she reacted.
That would have
to
been
that.
a lot more important than like some other scenes.
Yeah.
They
For
could've
sure.
Or another
For sure.
another thing is like they always hated her father. They always hated their father.
Yeah.
Never really wanted him to succeed. But then
Yeah,
now
but
they
were
realize,
also-
oh shit.
But they were also
like,
very afraid to like
To stop him.
to go against him. Though.
yeah, because he's
It's
quite
more like a
hard.
dictator.
Yeah.
Like like they could have been killed easily, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's your favorite moment from the movie?
My favorite moment would be the time travel scenes. I think mainly Cap and Iron Man's time travel.
Yeah.
Like that
You mean that sort of-
that whole thing, like when they were trying to get the space cube, and then they were trying to get like the Tesseract, and then they lost it, and then they got it back in 1970s. That was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. I think all the time travel scenes were pretty good. Yeah.
They worked in a lot of really nice references too.
Yeah, back
Yeah.
to the old movies.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Like when Cap went in that elevator,
Yeah.
that was like, oh,
everybody's expecting all
yeah,
the
yeah,
fights.
yeah. It would have been too easy for them to do the fight again, right?
Yeah.
But like then the Hail
There were
Hydra
still
movies.
some problems, like you know how when they were going down the elevator, there was like a lady that kind of felt there was something different.
Yeah.
Oh, she's from Community, by the way. She's actually
Oh.
she's there because she worked with the Russo brothers.
Oh.
Side note. She called them out, right? She called the security, everything. They had to go, but then there wasn't that urgency of them like fighting their way out or like getting caught. It was just like people looking for them, never really find them.
Yeah.
And then you just like, hey, it's time to go. Okay, let's go. And then they just left. Like
It's the same as like
it's kind of like unnecessary that they had to find out.
Yeah. It's the same as like when they were in the lobby when Loki like disappeared.
Yeah.
And modern Tony was like the security guard, right?
Yeah.
It's like everybody was looking at him. And
Or even before that, like
Yeah.
like modern Tony taking the briefcase to the staircase door.
Yeah.
That whole bit, like nobody like saw him. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of
Weird.
very weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was expecting Loki to do something more too. Like he just showed up, took the cube, and just disappeared.
Yeah, and then he didn't show up again.
Yeah.
That's a clear layup for the Loki movie, Loki TV series. I think people are like saying that's the start. That will be the start of his.
I see. So
Kind of.
that's like another like timeline then.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's like the multi. So people are guessing maybe the incursions is because they fucked up the timelines and they split. Like because it doesn't make sense. Okay, if you try to follow their logic of like okay, they remove the time stone and they remove the stones and then from each parallel past, and which creates the parallel past. But you can never really heal it because you interacted with that person. Even if you go back and give it back, then that's still different. That's always going to be different.
Yeah.
And plus, Cap just fucked one up at the end. So there's always going to be that timeline where there's one Cap in ice and one Cap that's married Peggy Carter.
Yeah.
And so the whole thing about them, about Bruce Banner saying that he's going to go back and fix all of it, that I think either that is false or that everything is just going to be like weird.
On a side note, I took a lot of issue with like Cap being the person who like I'm going to go back and fix everything and return all the stones at the end. It was so predictable that he was going to go in and like not come out.
Yeah.
I saw that from a mile away.
Yeah, that was very predictable.
Right? And like, so are you just doing this because you're a self-righteous person or like that just
there is one thing though. There's one thing though, because you have to return Mjolnir.
Yeah,
and
otherwise
he was the only person who can wield Mjolnir.
There's fucking Thor, man.
Thor the
you know,
but he's
you
like,
know the
weird.
person who actually owns Mjolnir.
But he's weird.
Yeah.
Weird Thor is so much better than like normal Cap.
To entrust the Infinity Stones to no. I would
but like
trust
it was just Mjolnir though, right? You
No,
can trust
he
him.
have to go back with all the stones as well.
And then replace all the stones back where they were.
But it doesn't really matter. They have
Yeah.
Hank Pym. They have Hank Pym back, so they can
Yeah.
make as many like Hank Pym particles as they want.
On the topic of the time travel thing,
Yeah.
one thing that really surprised me, like kind of like a plot hole, not really a plot hole, but one thing I didn't really like as well, was how quickly, what was her name? Supreme Sorceress?
Oh,
The
the
Asian
Asian
one?
one?
Tilda Swinton?
Yeah, Asian one.
The Asian one.
Ancient one, yeah. How quickly she just flipped, switched sides. It's like Hulk is doing the whole thing. It's like, oh,
'Cause-
but why would Stephen Strange do this? It's like, oh,
Yeah, because
Strange is meant to be one.
because she said if he willingly gave it up, then there must be a plan to him giving it up. Then this must be part
no,
of that
so
plan.
I understand, right? But the entire Doctor Strange movie was about the Ancient One actually being not like a good, like not being a protagonist, right? Or on Strange's side.
Sort of. Yeah.
Well, she's
Yeah.
good. She's not
She's
evil, but
good.
only the powers that she uses is kind of like
Yeah.
fucked up.
Like she was kind of like using the forces of evil for the forces of good, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She wasn't.
But
entirely bad.
that was just really abrupt.
And because she could see all the way into the future of herself, and she knows exactly when she's gonna die, and she knows about Stephen Strange before she even met him.
Yeah.
So the fact that her being able to know all that and then him giving up the time stone, I think it made sense. I mean, it is kind of rushed. But
Yeah,
then,
it was just really
but
rushed.
I think it was okay, and maybe she could see what Bruce Banner saw. Maybe I was just guessing. Like,
Apparently, again, I read this like somewhere. I forget the exact number that was referenced, but when Ant-Man comes back into the present, either it was like the number on the screen that that rat kind of tapped or something, is actually the same like universe designation like number for the present day like MCU.
Oh, maybe I didn't know that.
From,
okay.
do you know what I mean?
Like-
Like
like
universe
Earth
something.
616,
Yeah, something like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
So-
know that.
So I have a question. So I was kind of confused because I'm also reading a lot of people talking about Spider-Man Far From Home,
Right.
and they're like, oh, maybe this is set in the future, like in the alternate timeline, as opposed to this current like reset timeline in Endgame. Like I don't understand how that
I don't
plays out.
know, but I think,
Yeah.
like I said, if the plan is to do incursions for phase 4 onwards, like so phase 4, 5, 6 is gonna be like the incursions or the build up to the incursions, then I think then that totally makes sense. But I do not know exactly how they're gonna do it. Plus, it's about like they always try to dumb down and simplify the original Marvel like storylines, like Civil War, Age of Ultron, there was all Infinity War,
Yeah.
all dumbed down.
Yeah.
Well, not really dumbed down, but like kind of streamlined.
Yeah.
Incursions is messy as hell.
What was
And-
Incursions again?
It's about all the universes colliding. Like the Earths will always one will always win over the other, and basically one will be completely destroyed.
Do you think
Okay.
they'll actually go with that storyline though?
I don't know.
Like it's really.
I don't think
it's
so.
really complicated.
I don't think so. But I think
You would
they're
lose
gonna,
so many
They're gonna
people.
call it the incursions or one of the names that leads up to it, and then what they're gonna do is they're gonna write a brand new storyline.
Like I'd rather them do like a different kind of supervillain, like that's more powerful, like Galactus. I'd rather they bring Galactus and at the same time use Galactus to bring back Fantastic Four and then they bring back Super Silver.
Because that's but Fantastic Four is with Sony. They don't have it.
They have the rights.
Wait.
They have the license to that. They have the license.
Wait, Fantastic Four was Sony or Fox?
It was Fox before, but they have the license. Disney has the licensing.
Oh, okay.
So they are able to make a good Fantastic Four again.
But wasn't Fantastic Four from I forgot. But
Yeah,
they have
they're gonna start
X-Men
bringing
too.
all the like they're gonna bring X-Men in, and that's gonna be just a whole pile.
Like if they remake a good Fantastic Four, it makes sense to bring Galactus because they can bring Silver Surfer and tie that with Galactus.
They should still do X-Men when, like, you know, Hugh Jackman is still young.
Yeah.
Still,
He's done though.
Yeah, he's done. He's not doing.
He's definitely done.
Yeah.
There's no way.
No, I heard he was interested though. Like he said, he told Kevin Feige that if they were able to bring X-Men back to MCU, he would so do one.
Seriously, nobody else can do Wolverine.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way.
Yeah, yeah.
I think Iron Man and Wolverine. Like,
Yeah.
I would rather they just recast, like, oh, it's Wolverine's son or something.
Yeah.
I'd rather just do
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And or the girl in Logan.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Weapon something.
Weapon.
Was
Was
it
it weapon?
23 or something?
23.
X-23.
I don't know.
Okay.
It's
No.
this.
What
Oh, Ronan.
Oh yeah.
I thought Ronan was really his bit was so weird.
It was so weird.
He had so
Forced.
many. He had
So
He had so much screen time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they didn't.
He didn't do anything.
They didn't explain his backstory.
Yeah.
Like why? They didn't even. Did they say he was Ronan? They didn't even say
No.
he was
No.
Ronan, right?
No.
They never say their names.
Yeah.
They never
No.
ever like call them by their like.
Yeah, so they didn't
like,
explain
common names.
why he's that character.
Yeah.
Or like what like the whole story.
Like I really liked the opening bit. Like I did not expect to open with that.
Yeah.
And I thought that was gonna set things up really nicely. And then all of a sudden he just becomes a terrorist.
Yeah, and then he doesn't do it.
I'm like, what?
And then he doesn't
like,
have
Can
any-
you like while you're in Japan, man? Like,
Speaking Japanese.
Yeah,
He was an agent. Like he was like a special agent, but
especially for who though?
Yeah,
For
they didn't
Shield.
explain anything.
Didn't explain
They didn't say
it at all.
anything.
I mean, why he spoke Japanese, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was just on like a widower range.
Like if
Yeah. But like, it's
for
so
people that don't
weird.
know that character, then he's just going on a rampage and killing.
Yeah.
people. Like that, every bad guy that Thanos didn't kill, he just.
And then like
To me, it was like-
Black Widow just died because of this shitty character.
yeah,
For me, it's like because his daughters and wife and son died, and the snap was fair. So like, no, it was not fair. It was indifferent. So there's people who are bad but survived.
Yeah.
So he's like pissed off.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. I know, but like
Doesn't mean you have to go around killing people.
I know, but they didn't explain any
Yeah.
of this, right?
There was also no moment.
And for him to take up the Ronin character, there has to be a huge
Yeah.
backstory to it, right? So I mean, like you don't need to take up Ronin
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah. There was also no reconciliation between like Black Widow and Ronin.
Yeah.
And I
Because they
really,
were just like, oh, here, who's gonna die first?
Yeah.
yeah, I
It's like,
would
yo,
rather.
man.
I would rather Hawkeye die, because then at the end, near the end, there was like the scene of all the female heroes.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Just and
There's no Black Widow.
There's no Black Widow.
And she was the first.
What the fuck?
Yeah, she was the first.
How did Captain Marvel find Iron Man in the vast void of space in the beginning?
I think she was on
Captain
Earth.
Marvel.
She was on Earth.
Yeah, but how did she find
No.
Iron Man?
She was on Earth.
Yeah. Then they
And
sent her out to find him. I think.
Okay, she was on Earth. They were with Thor and Raccoon.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Raccoon, what I think was Raccoon told her about the ship and stuff. Oh, there's so many plot holes. So many plot holes. Okay.
Yeah.
First one.
A few moments later.
So I really didn't understand why Valkyrie was there at the end.
Right.
There's a lot of explanations, but I felt like there was some oversight to that plot line, because in Infinity, at the end of Thor: Ragnarok, everybody went on the ship, right?
Yeah.
Korg, Thor, Loki, Valkyrie, all the other Asgardians, everybody was on the ship. Start of Infinity War, Thanos came, butchered everything, right? Bruce Banner got sent back, Heimdall died, Loki died, Thor was there, Valkyrie was nowhere to be seen. The ship was in shambles, like it was like
Yeah,
completely
Valkyrie wasn't. She wasn't in Infinity War.
Yeah, she wasn't in Infinity
Yeah.
War. So the whole ship was fucked, and you could definitely see the whole ship was fucked when the Guardians arrived and picked up Thor.
Yeah.
And Thor's first reaction was like, "I'm gonna go to Nidavellir and to make Stormbreaker," and his reaction was like, "No, let's find whoever's left or whatever." So either the only explanation is Thanos came, only killed half the people, so half was left, and Thor didn't know about it.
Yeah.
Didn't know he killed half, but he pretty much was going to announce that he kills half. So that part was weird as hell when they had a new Asgardian on Earth. Because I thought Thor was the only Asgardian left.
I see.
After Infinity War. But that's
a fair point. That's a fair point.
And then you know how they took they took the pod in Infinity War to Nidavellir to make Stormbreaker, and then they used the Bifrost to get back to Earth. How the hell did they have that pod on the ship during Endgame? They used the pod to break off one team to go to Vormir. Oh no, wait. The big ship went to Vormir, and then the small ship went to the Power Stone. Forgot what that planet was. So that pod shouldn't even be there, unless you told me that in those 5 years' time they went and like retrieved the pod.
I don't remember that arc.
in the dwarf world. You remember Infinity War?
Yeah.
So
I remember going to the planet to make Stormbreaker, but I don't remember.
They had to like use the. So there was 2 ships on that thing. I forgot what the name was. The Milan, something like that. And then Raccoon and Thor broke off. They went to the dwarf planet, the Dying Star, and then they made Stormbreaker. They bifrosted back to the battlefield in
that pod should be there.
So that pod should be there. And this ship was on Titan. The main ship was on Titan with with Peter Quill and Iron Man. And Iron Man was on it, Nebula was on it, and that ship got brought back to Earth. But in 5 years' time, the pod was back. So what could happen is either Iron Man built they built the pod back on Earth, or they went back to the dwarf planet and retrieved the pod.
Easier for them to build another pod.
Probably.
Yeah. So I think that's.
I mean, if they can build a suit, you can build a pod in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
If he can build a time travel machine,
he can probably build.
I guess. Plus, she had a Pegasus, so I guess Pegasus was also on the ship and not killed.
Yeah.
And somehow they made their way to Earth.
So I want to ask, how long did it take for Captain Marvel to push Tony Stark's ship back to Earth? He said his ship has 1 day of air left.
I'll explain that. Her power was given by the Space Stone. That's it. That's my explanation.
That's an explanation. Yeah.
So she could basically travel, because she's going to all planets,
and yet it took her like the whole movie to get back to Earth.
I guess. I don't want to discuss that. It's just really dumb, but okay.
Yeah,
one thing was
you can only go that far.
Out of all of the major protagonists in all of the MCU movies, it sucks being Peter Quill.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
He actually used to be one of the most loved characters when Guardians of the Galaxy came out.
Yeah.
And then Infinity War, and everybody's like, dude, that guy's a dick.
Yeah. And then this time, his only screen time was when he was fucking dancing in the planet
and at the end,
being smacked in the head.
And at the end, when Thor, he got wrecked by Thor on his own.
And then he also got kicked in the nuts by Gamora.
Yeah.
Poor guy. Well, he'll be back for Volume 3. It's fine.
As Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, but that's if Thor is going to be with them, the main character is going to be Thor.
Yeah.
It is absolutely. So.
James Gunn is going to do that, right? I was really hoping when James Gunn got fired.
Yeah.
Hopefully Taika Waititi will take up that project.
He's an executive. James Gunn is an executive producer for Endgame. Yeah.
Oh, for Endgame.
Yeah. So
I think they all are.
No, I thought it was only 3. I thought there was Jon Favreau.
He definitely will be.
And Gunn and I think it was probably Stan Lee. From what I saw from the credits, I probably am wrong.
They say there's going to be a separate show of just Scarlet Witch and Vision. Is that?
Yeah. So
really?
Yeah. So my guess is Shuri actually did fix. She did fix Vision at the end of Infinity War, but Thanos just killed him anyways and took him stone. But
There's
they could probably
also-
recreate him.
There's also going to be a standalone movie on Black Widow, wasn't it?
Not.
It was like-
that was kind of
That's
rumored.
It's gonna be boring as hell. Like technically, she doesn't really do anything in any.
It's
movie.
gonna be her and Hawkeye in Budapest.
But like, if you do that, you should have done that before, not after.
Not after the fact.
This is all
No,
resolved,
with time
right?
travel and alternate timelines, it can
That's
all
so.
feed into the
So,
next
but like,
one.
I don't like. That's you're just milking it, though.
Like-
you know, like you wouldn't do an Iron Man 4 just by saying like, hey, this is what would have happened if he didn't come back and save this. You know, this is Iron Man 4 is like with Morgan before they came back and they do that, right? Like you wouldn't do
Well,
that.
I think most probably like Ronan's gonna come back, right? Like
Well, he has
because
to.
because he leads like that's why he doesn't die and he leads the new Avengers, right? Ronan,
He comes
Ronan's
back
the one
in
that leads the new Avengers.
Born, the fourth
I
one,
think so.
or something.
Well, he's the most qualified.
Well, I
lead
think in the
the
comics, Ronan does lead the new Avengers.
Yo, really?
Like that's why he has so much screen time.
man.
He is qualified. He is.
But he sucks, man.
What would you rather have, Bruce Banner? No.
Honestly, like
Honestly, I
between the existing, yeah,
Professor Bruce.
absolutely,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
is
yeah.
amazing.
Professor.
But he's not a good. Like he's really like.
Yeah.
I think, like I was really like surprised by Ant-Man too.
Oh, he was good. He was
Like,
good in this movie.
He
had a lot of screen time.
Everybody like honestly, like, everybody's like, oh, it's Paul Rudd, and it's like Ant-Man. Who wants to watch Ant-Man? Like,
I like
he was
Ant-Man.
a central character in this
Dude,
movie.
I love Ant-Man.
No, but like you know what I mean. Like when it came
Yeah,
out, everybody
yeah.
was like, "Fuck is Ant-Man?" You know?
Yeah, Ant-Man didn't sell that well.
Yeah.
In the box
But
office.
like
I love
he
that. I mean,
came
still
to the
good
fore
fun.
this time.
Yeah.
Like
I still don't like how they changed the story of Ant-Man, but I do like the new Ant-Man.
yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean change the story of Ant-Man?
Like
Change the story of everything?
I don't like how he's not Hank Pym.
Mm.
Because Hank Pym is supposed to be Ant-Man, right?
I kind of get why, because
Yeah.
they're trying to like add in different types of characters. Because Hank Pym was like, to be honest, what Hank Pym did for the
No.
old like Earth 616, Iron Man did for MCU already.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Ultron, all that. Like,
because they also couldn't have Ant-Man tie into their time travel thing.
Hank
Right?
Pym was too OP in the
Yeah.
old comics. Like he was the like the science guy, and
Why didn't he do anything
Iron
this
Man
time
was just
though?
the engineer.
Like if he was so good,
He was
could've-
dead. He was dusted.
But we
He was
saw,
vanished.
him.
That was after he came back.
No, that's true.
He snapped him
Oh
back.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
fair. Okay.
So
that's fair.
so I think like they tried to kind of avoid him doing stuff that Iron Man would do
Wow.
in
Yeah, yeah.
in MCU, because basically they took all his plot lines and just shoved it into Iron Man.
Yeah.
So like time travel was Tony Stark, Ultron was Tony Stark. Those are not Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Speaking of cool Easter egg, you know, at the end, like the funeral scene,
Yep.
when you saw like all the characters,
kid.
there's
The kid?
the kid
Yeah.
was the kid in Iron Man.
Yeah, I know.
3, right?
Everybody's
yeah.
like, "Who's that kid?"
Yeah, I was like, yeah. So I looked it up. That was a nice.
If they
nice
can make
moment.
him into the next Iron Man, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not gonna be the next.
Or is everybody gonna be a girl?
I don't want.
I guess everybody's gonna be a
I
girl.
don't actually
at this
don't
point.
want the next.
I don't want the next Iron Man.
I'm okay with him being gone.
Yeah, same. I'm okay with like the Avengers being like, we're doing all of this because Iron Man sacrificed
I would-
himself to do that.
I'd rather like none of the current characters come back. I would rather them start a new set of
Yeah.
characters.
I honestly like hope Sam won't be Cap.
Yeah.
Because Sam as Falcon is actually
he-
really
he
cool.
is Falcon.
He's really cool.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't fit.
Yeah.
You know, no one could have fit. Even if it was Bucky, like it's supposed to be
Yeah.
in the comics, it wouldn't have fit.
Maybe they would reinvent the super soldier serum and give it
Just
to Falcon.
be Falcon then.
And be Falcon.
Yeah.
Captain Falcon.
I was so gonna say that. You beat me to it.
What do you want to, so that was the end of phase, was it phase 3?
That's phase 3.
No, they say that Spider-Man is the end of Phase 3, not
So it's Far From
not
Home.
Endgame,
Yeah.
it's Far From Home.
Okay.
So
What do you guys want to see after this? Like if you were going to write
I think
or chart out the next kind of journey.
I want to see Fantastic Four. I want to see a really good Fantastic Four because they've all been really shit.
I want to see X-Men blended in. I want to see Fantastic Four. I want to see Taika Waititi do another movie.
As Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, Guardians of the
But it's not him, right? So I don't know what he's going to do. Because it's kind of hard to... Like, okay, the storyline-wise, I think Earth is going to have some form of peace for a while. And what's going to happen is they're going to want to... Okay, they're split into two teams. One team is they're going to find Gamora. They're going to try to get back Gamora. And one is going to try to get back Widow. The thing is that, okay, when Cap returned the Infinity Stones, he gave back the Soul Stone, right?
Yeah.
What happened after that? Like,
nothing.
You can't reset it though.
They said
hey, Red Skull.
You already.
Hey, Red Skull, here.
They said you
Like,
can't.
Okay.
They said
Yeah.
you can't. Yeah, the soldier's lost.
Yeah, the sacrifice was for you to get it.
No, but the thing is that
Giving it back is not going to give you your
at
soul
the
back.
end of Endgame, they were looking at a screen with Gamora on it, like searching for Gamora or something. The thing is that when Iron Man snapped his finger, that everything that came from that universe vanished, including that Gamora.
Yeah.
So that's why they were trying to find him. So maybe they were able to get her back.
Another time travel story.
No. I think it's more like they're gonna find a way, because you still have untied up plots. They have Adam Warlock, which in some way is associated with the Soul Stone. Don't know how they're gonna do that here. Probably
Have they already
They're
had
probably
Warlock?
not gonna tie
yeah.
him
Or
to
he was
the Soul
able,
Stone.
or his powers will be able to do that.
Wait, where have they had Warlock before?
He was at the
It's-
end of
Volume 2.
Volume 2.
Ah, okay.
I
I actually didn't watch that, so.
What were they called? The Sovereign.
Yeah, the
Sovereign's queen.
Okay.
She made him to.
Yeah, he was in the school
to fight the
cocoon
Guardians,
kind
yeah.
of thing. Yeah.
So in the comics, he was from the Soul Stone.
Yeah,
He was
he was from a replica Soul Stone.
Oh yeah. So he's like super powerful and super OP. He's like another Captain Marvel.
Yeah, he was the one that's supposed to defeat Thanos in the.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was able. He was also able to wield the Infinity Gauntlet with basically no cost to him.
Yeah.
In the Marvels, in the comics. But actually, in the comics, they never had a cost to using the gauntlet like they did in MCU. So that's kind of different.
The way that like the new X-Men is shaping up though, like I'm not super optimistic for it.
Well, the last one was shit.
Yeah.
The next one is also doesn't look that promising.
It's always gonna be shit when you have one OP character. That's just how it's gonna be.
The next one is
You
just
can't have-
exactly going to be X-Men 3.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like
Wait,
entirely the same.
What was X-Men 3 like?
It's Jean Grey being
Oh
OP.
yeah. Jean Grey being OP. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and they're just doing the
I
entire
really-
thing like
I
this
really
exactly
don't-
the same.
I really don't.
They're trying to explain it though. They never explain it like between X2 and X3.
Yeah,
They
but
never
like just
explain
because
it.
you explain it doesn't change the fact that the same shit happened.
And I really don't like Sansa Stark as Phoenix. She's Sansa.
After you're calling
She's
her
Sansa. Okay.
like it's just
I can't even remember her real name. She's Sansa. Okay. Yeah.
to be honest, I
think she fits
don't
the
like
Phoenix character at all.
Mystique. I don't like
Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique. Maybe I grew up with the old
Yeah.
X-Men movies. She's
Well,
just not
hon-
like
I don't think she's bad though.
Yeah,
I think she's okay as a Mystique.
I love James
But-
McAvoy as Xavier,
Yeah.
and I love what's his face as Magneto.
Yeah.
Fassbender.
Yeah.
But like all the other casting is just like you have these two A-listers and all the other like they're all kids, right?
Yeah.
So how are we going to integrate these kids into an MCU? Like I kind of don't want that to happen.
I don't know if they're gonna take that though.
I hope they don't.
I think Dark Phoenix is it called Dark Phoenix?
Yeah.
They're just gonna end it, and then
I hope they do.
whatever they
I
do
hope
is gonna
so.
be like.
Then there's going to be X-Force or something, right? Like that was the
Can they not integrate it that way? Like, can they not? Are they gonna get Deadpool into MCU really?
I don't. I
Jesus.
hope not.
I don't think so. They can't. They can't.
First of all, it's R-rated. Second of all, it's,
yeah, they can't have an R-rated movie in a non-R-rated movie. If you know what I mean, like they can't have an R-rated character within a non-R-rated movie because it won't make sense. It'll basically
That he's gonna have to not do all the stuff that he does.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. That's
And he's gonna be breaking the fourth wall in a movie that you're not supposed to. Like
Deadpool can't be out of his own movie.
So I think they're gonna like just spin off like Deadpool.
Honestly, I don't
and
want
maybe
to
have,
see
like,
everything kind of combined because that's gonna be too messy.
Yeah, I'd rather
Right?
have like separate.
I wonder. I'm quite excited for Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Oh yeah.
Like, I want to see how if they're treating that as the end of Phase 3. I want to see how what kind of things.
There's a lot of things. Like for example, did the people? You can't really see if the people aged when they were snapped. Until you can't really tell.
But they didn't because
They did.
it's like Ant-Man coming back is like 5 hours.
Yeah.
They didn't.
No, but Ant-Man wasn't in the stone.
Yeah,
he was snapped.
but then
he was just in
he
the
said
quantum realm.
they said bring back everybody that was snapped, and then bring them 5 years into the future. Right. So they didn't live out the 5 years. They just
So they didn't grow old, right?
They didn't grow old.
Yes.
No.
So in Far From Home, they're in their school, so it's school related. So if it's gonna follow the timeline of Endgame, basically what's gonna happen is, Spider-Man is gonna be 5 years younger than the people who didn't get snapped.
They didn't get snapped.
Yes. So it's
But
there's gonna be some sort of weird thing
But then again, we also don't know who got stabbed. Right? So it doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah.
It's like the end scene of Endgame. Like people are like saying why those people are the same age, and they didn't get snapped. They already confirmed they didn't. They got snapped, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of going back to the point of like leader of the Avengers,
Yeah.
Black Panther, man,
Yeah. What about it?
he's so badass. Like he was like just in this small scene, like you could see just like him coming out,
Yeah.
and just like he was doing all the things, and just being awesome. So
Yeah,
I mean, he's not. I don't think
want-
he's gonna be mainstream Avengers like the leader because he's always Wakanda.
I would want another Black Panther.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
What are they gonna do though? What's the storyline?
Like, I really enjoy.
It's Wakanda's growth, like to prominence in the entire world.
Like
how he's gonna manage that.
I really
right?
enjoy all the non-mainstream characters.
Yeah, same.
Like Black Panther, like Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man. Like I love all those characters.
Yeah,
I'd rather them
I
make
really
more
like
of
Doctor
those.
Strange.
Yeah.
I'd rather them, Doctor Strange. I'd rather them make more of those. movies.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna have a Doctor Strange too because there's
Yeah.
Mordo.
Yeah.
That they have to like. That Mordo goes crazy, and actually becomes a villain, and then.
Oh yeah, forget about that.
And then there's like, and there's some like spin-off stuff that they didn't really tie up, like, Iron Man 3, the Mandarin was like.
I think they're gonna phase him out.
That.
Yeah,
they're gonna
that was
phase
so
him out.
stupid.
Yeah.
They also did like after that
hated that so
they
much.
did this like there's this thing online I saw that they got Ben Kingsley back and he did this really short like couple of minutes that he was like he actually is the Mandarin, like he was being an actor playing. Like,
I don't know.
I hated that. I don't bring that back, please.
Anyway,
they do rescue.
we have had a long episode.
Yeah.
So I think we should put that to a pause here.